In the interest of time, let's get started right away. Like I said at the live event, for all of you that attended the live event, the danger in going to any of those live events is you take this notebook full of notes and a lot of great stuff, all kinds of stuff you want to implement in your business. And then, of course, you come back and it goes on this stack of pile of paperwork over here. You never look at it again. Then it kind of goes lower and lower on the pile. Then it eventually makes it into the bottom drawer, and you don't enact any of the changes you knew you needed to enact when you were at the live event. So we are going to make sure that that doesn't happen. And for anybody that heard Steve Scholl's talk on lead generation, or kind of what ended up becoming the theme of the weekend, is even if you're trying to move from that stage or master that stage of me to we to they, the number one thing that you can do to move the needle in your business, move production, and then of course also sustain future staff, employees, team members, really the only way to do that is to lead generate and put more deals in your pocket. So for all of you on the call, again, thank you for making it here promptly at 8 o'clock. This is the book that you should have to follow along with, make notes. I will actually be reading verbatim, word for word, 1 page a day. And Krista Rose is here. Maybe we have technical difficulties.
No, I'm just making sure you're recording. Okay.
Yep, I'm recording. Yeah, perfect. We are recording, so this will go out to all the coaching members recorded. This is the one that you want to follow along in, and let's just jump right in to day one, because I promise I wouldn't keep you more than 15 or 20 minutes. And I'll be a couple of days ahead of you making some notes here. So are you all in? In college, I had a professor who had us visualize what our lives would be like once we graduated and entered the world of employment. The idea was that a student's full-time job in college was to learn, which meant that after accounting for classroom time, the remainder of the 40-plus hours of a typical work week should be allocated to preparation, learning, and studying. To be truly all in as a student meant giving everything one had to the educational experience. Just so you know, I'm going to replace real estate agent with loan officer kind of on the cuff for a bunch of this stuff. To be all in as a loan officer means to commit to complete consistently those activities that are known to lead to business. Yeah, that's a bad prose, Karen Briscoe. But anyway, it is evident when an agent is working because there's production on the books, business in the pipeline, and an abundant source of leads. It is a lot like people who say they want to lose weight and get in better physical shape. Their behavior is evident for all to see. They only cheat themselves. They are not fooling anyone. Everyone is quite aware of what is really going on. The same holds true for real estate agents or loan officers. I highlighted a lot of this section and made notes here because it's true, right? How many people do we know say that they're going to go on a diet? They say that they're really working on their health, and it's very self-evident by the way their clothes are fitting that they're not working on their health. Kind of the same thing with lead generation, right? You can say all the right things. You can show up to the office every day in a suit, but if you're not actually doing the activities called lead generation, which is picking up the phone, emailing, Facebook messaging, going to live events, getting belly to belly, if you're not doing those things, the pipeline will be self-evident. So moving on. Being all in means giving the entire business everything you've got, even when things are difficult and even when the professional doesn't feel like it. During the Great Recession, many agents took on some challenging transactions in order to stay in business. Of those who survived the ordeal, almost all of them say their business came out the other side stronger, and that as agents, they were more competent and confident. And I can tell you that from experience, leaving Washington Mutual as they were about to implode, where I did about 80% refinances up until 2008. And then moving into a real estate office and trying to focus on purchase business, it was basically like relearning a whole new career. It was tough. I didn't make a lot of money. I think in 2009, I W-2'd like $18,000. And it was a very tough time, but somehow was able to stay with it, beg, borrow, and steal money to stay afloat. And then when I came out the other side, the good news was, half of the loan officers in quotation marks, were no longer in the business. And there was just more, bigger piece of the pie left for Scott Grove. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this, because something disruptive is coming in the next, 5 to 10 years, maybe 5 to 10 months, who knows? Economy can change. One of these tech companies will finally get it right with mortgages. And I think there will always be a place for the true professional. And I kind of see our industry going the direction of tax returns, for example. When TurboTax came out and low-cost H&R Block, every accountant thought that they were going to, be out of business and lose their entire book of business and everything was going to get automated. The reality is it did wash out a big chunk of low value accountants, tax preparers. A lot of people do file their taxes on TurboTax and for $100 with H&R Block. But the accountants that were able to survive and hang on, they came out the other side of the business with a bigger market share of more niche or boutique product and service that they could charge more for. So I probably think that our industry is moving the same way, where eventually a lot of clients will be able to kind of automate their mortgage and just, fill out an application. It'll all be digital authorizations. It'll be, pick column A, B, or C. But there'll still be a fair amount of people that need the service of a seasoned loan officer. So the goal here is to double your production in the next 12 months so that if there is something where we take a big hit to income or volume or leads, you can hang on and survive until we come out the other side in the new normal. So back to the end of the chapter here, or the page. To be all in also means to close off all exits. When one truly commits to the profession of real estate or mortgages, there is a passion and singleness of purpose. It is like Homer's story of Odysseus and the seductive song of the sirens. In order to protect the ship from the danger of the rocks, Odysseus had the men tie him to the mast so that the siren song would not tempt him. There will always be shiny distractions, and that take away, sorry, I have to reread this because this is me, I'm laughing to myself. There will always be shiny distractions that take away an agent's attention from the true activities that lead to success in the business. I actually got this talk the other day from my business partner. It is the true professional who is all in and stays focused. Listening to Steve Schultz talk, having to talk with my business partner, Justin, this is me in a nutshell. Like, I've got shiny object syndrome. I'll go here and go there and go there. And then I'll be like, yeah, I feel like I did a lot, but I didn't really spend at least an hour lead generating. So I'm laughing to myself. Motivational expert Peter Lowe states, the most common trait I have found in all successful people is that they have conquered the temptation to give up. I would add give up or get distracted. That's another aspect of what it means to be all in, to achieve and sustain success in real estate or mortgage. So the tip here is to commit to being all in and truly working on your business, not in your business. Work on your business, not in your business. And what I would highly, highly, highly recommend is right now, either you go right into it and lead generate right now. I don't care what that looks like. It should be picking up the phone. But if you've got some call reluctance, you need to ease into this, send 50 Facebook messages to realtors who you want to meet with. Let's spend an hour today. I will tell you what I'm committed to. I put it in my calendar here because I've actually got a busy morning with a recruit. I put it in my calendar, 3 to 4 p.m., 1 hour of lead generation. 1 hour of lead generation, 3 to 4 p.m. So if anybody wants to text message me at 2:55 to make sure that I'm being held accountable, my partners, Justin and Arash, are going to make sure that our decks are clear so I can do focused phone call lead generation. If you're the type of person that will get passive and put it off and procrastinate and won't do it, don't wait till 3 o'clock. If you don't have a business partner who's going to hold you accountable, don't wait till 3 o'clock. Do it right now, or clear your decks, clear your email, close out all those mental loops that you have right now. Did the CD get out? Did this loan get submitted? Is this in the underwriter queue? Do whatever you have to do, and then start right at 9 o'clock and go right into an hour of focused lead generation. So I'm going to make a note here that there's 37 of you on the call live. There's a bunch of you watching the Facebook group, and there's about a dozen of you that called in on the telephone. So maybe somewhere between 50 and 100 people watching right now. I want to keep a tally of this and see how this evolves over the next 66 days. Do we pick up momentum and have other people hear about the program and want to jump in to be held accountable? Or does everybody fall off after a week and it's just myself and Arabo on this call every morning getting pumped up about lead generation and making phone calls? I promise you that if you stick to the activities and you do 1 hour a day of focused lead generation, get in touch with 10 past agents you've worked with, get in touch with 10 agents you've never heard from or that you don't know. Get in touch with 10 clients that are in your pipeline who haven't closed a loan yet. Get in touch with 10 past clients who you did close a loan with, and ask every one of them, use some of the stuff from that Chris Voss book, Never Split the Difference, which we've beat it over your head. Everybody should be listening to that on Audible right now. Ask for the referral, ask for the business, let them know who you are, make the introduction. And I promise you that by this summer, you will see a 2X or 3X in either your closings, or if you're in a very challenged area with low inventory, you'll definitely see a 2 or 3X in your lead generation and your incoming leads, which of course will then, lead to deals as more and more inventory comes available. So I'm Scott Groves with Consolidated Coaching. If you're watching this on the webinar platform, you're already part of our coaching program. I love you guys. I hope that you stick to these activities. Actually, I know you will stick to these activities because hope is not a plan. I will see you every day for the next 65 days at 8 a.m. And if you're watching this on Facebook and this is something you want to get in on, in addition to our normal schedule of coaching, which is Thursday afternoon at 11 Pacific Standard Time, 2 live events a year, and then of course access to our knowledge vault, which has about 200 hours of past coaching material. If that interests you, I'll put up a link for our coaching trial or our monthly membership, and you can jump on. So I will stick on. This is the end of the recording. I will stick on for about 2 to 3 minutes if anybody has any question or wants to be promoted to a panelist and have some dialogue. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat box.